Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to the first Daydream Anti with JD. I'm actually going to be reading quite a few of the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore to celebrate my first one-star review. Recently, someone gave my lovely book a one-star review, and rather than be offended or put my tail between my legs or anything of the sorts, first off, I put the ebook version of the Daydreams, on sale for the entire month of March. It's going to be 99 cents. And for the entire month of March, just to try to get more people to check it out, give it a shot, and see if maybe people who are bigger fans of YA can find something interesting in this short story collection. I mentioned that it's a short story collection because a couple of people throughout the history of this book have been confused in regards to the book. And these are independent short stories that could or could not be related. As it happens with dreams, sometimes dreams connect in the weirdest ways. And sometimes they don't. The idea is to have something, with all the bad news that we're living through on a daily basis. It's like, the media is like, oh God, everything's horrible, blah, 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 blah. Well, these short stories are meant to cleanse the palate. So, with that in mind, let me read you the first daydream. It is episode 1. Not chapter 1, episode 1. Picnic at the Cocoa Lagoon. Get a bit of the tea. This is creative fuel. I actually haven't rehearsed this, and I haven't read these in a long time, so I'll be just as surprised as you are. Summertime is quite a lovely time to enjoy on the Sherbet Shore. Seeing as time and seasons don't necessarily align with reality, it's a pleasant surprise to see Daim mimicking reality for a change. The misty breeze brushes off a caramel mountain and two dots appear on opposing horizons. From the east, a large figure approaches, slicing through the water and causing waves 4 feet high to spread in its wake. Upon closer look, it is the SS Falcori, and at its helm, a disgruntled fish in a captain's suit sounds a thundering horn playing an accelerated mariachi version of Bach's Sleeper's Wake. At the bow, a young woman stands wrapped in purple sashes like the most elegant and fashionable zombie ever seen. Although she was quite alive, even if this was a dream. She holds a purple umbrella in one hand and theater glasses in the other as she surveys the horizon. From the west, a little dot can be seen jumping from one cloud to the next like an untied balloon you have just let go, albeit without the propulsion noises resembling a toddler's raspberry. The young woman gives a quaint smile and signals to the captain to turn to shore. The boat veers at a radical 90 degrees, sending various objects flying, although the captain and his passenger remained nonplussed. 44 seconds later, the boat came to a screeching halt on the water, tossing the young woman at remarkable speed from the boat, something that would be impressive enough if she hadn't spread the umbrella and landed as gently as the final feather of a pillow fight. The pinballing dot from the west continued its rambling trajectory, eventually making its way in the direction of the purple girl, and a minute's time was 16 seconds more than the dot had needed to land 4 feet from the young woman. That took you long enough, she said, peeking back to the boat to make sure the captain was getting her cargo off the ship. The young man's legs were shaking, although he was able to manage a smile of relief as he dusted off pink cloud wisp that had clung to his black coat. My apologies, madam. Master Otstein had something I needed to do. You know, at this rate, fight is going to work you to the bone, she said earnestly. The young man waved off the comment. Not at all, madam. He's the one that keeps me in check. Writing of vampires, photogeni, and werewolves? Theriums, Madame Claudette, said the young man with much emphasis on the odd word. Remember, they hate it when they get called werewolves. Fine, she said, almost regretting allowing him the opportunity to one of his semantic lectures before looking at his arm, which had a ribbon coiled around it. How was your trip, JD? The young man quickly unwrapped his arm, sliding the ribbon into his back pocket. A little crazy. I still need to figure out how to ride ribbons, although I was able to catch sight of quite a few lovely surprises along the way. Oh, good, Claudette exclaimed. So did I. Come along, tell me as we ready for lunch. JD looked over her shoulder and could see the large fish in a captain's suit walking on his tail fin, while a crab and a large shoestring potato unloaded several boxes of cargo. Who are Captain Scaly and his friends? Claudette gave a small giggle as she saw her crew unloading the boxes from the dragon ship. That's Captain Fish and his first and second mates, Chips and Pincher. I'm guessing Pincher is the red one, JD remarked before turning his attention back to the woman in purple. Don't mind him. He's just a little crabby from the long boat ride. How is your queen, by the way? At the question, the young man's beard glowed a bit brighter, and the smile that melted on his face showed just how much love could be pumped from one heart. Divine as always, although battling some suffering succotashes in the mundane caves. Claudette looked concerned. Really, I don't know why a job has to be such hard work. Truer words have rarely been drunk into, although we came for a nice time, not to talk of work. Fair enough, she said simply. Send my regards to Jane. Will do, he responded gingerly. Now I must ask, where did this magnificent apparel come from? You look great. The young woman blushed at the compliment. Well, it is from Aunt Purple. She says she outgrew it, and I don't know what that even means, because she's the same size as she's always been. I spoke to her on the phone recently. Oh, really? JD said. How did she sound? A little blue, although not quite. You know how she is. JD nodded assuredly as he pulled out a set of visors from his coat. Please excuse me 1 second, I have to look for something first. Meanwhile, please indulge me. What did you see on your way here? He took a deep breath and put on the visors that clouded his eyes, as if the glass became fiery at the touch of his face. He gave a little grunt and started looking around. He nodded for the young woman to answer his query, so she obliged. Well, I remember that time you told me of the peppermint turtles, and I think I saw them at a distance, although I'm not sure. They were quite a ways away, and the Falcori was dead set on getting here. Dragon boats are rather stubborn, aren't they? Said JD matter-of-factly. Don't get me started. Anyways, I passed Pie Crust Reef and saw some surfers on Gravy Wavies, and I really don't see how you guys can just fly on the water. Well, it takes practice and a few loose screws, although it does keep us in check and does help us manage. Oh, she interrupted him, grabbing his arm and startling JD a bit. Sorry, it's just that I saw one of the tequila sunrises. He turned around with his eyes covered by the visors and a Cheshire grin gleaming her way. How was it? Bright and strong. I can see why some people couldn't get up after a few of those. Luckily, I had... Bang! Interrupted a squishy sort of a bang 20 feet behind them. JD and Claudette looked over and saw a disgruntled, svelte, bald man smashing pumpkins in a batch. Who's that? Asked Claudette. That's William Glasser's pumpkin smasher. That's what he does all day, smash some pumpkins, although I think it used to sound much better a few years back. Luckily, this last batch isn't that bad, and it doesn't sound like mere squashes squishing. His attitude is a tad terrible from time to time, however. I bet, said Claudette, and noticed JD had apparently found what he was looking for. Here we go. He piped and looked like a mime carrying a heavy box, even though nothing was there. The lavender lady signaled for her crew to follow and set up camp, and JD opened a lid out of thin air where there was nothing. A bright light shone intensely from the void, causing Claudette to cover her eyes. Dang it, JD. Warn me when you open something from the mid-dimension of yours. Sorry, said JD, apologizing for the startle, and produced a green bottle of what looked like liquid light and a scroll. The Falcori crew set up the picnic, and both of them sat down. JD looked at the tangerine-colored sands. I wonder what flavor it is today. Taking a pinch of sand and tasting it, he nodded approvingly. Peach mango. All right. Anyways, tell me a bit more of the voyage, and I'll tell you what these are. Although she wasn't thrilled at him not revealing what he'd brought, she humored him. Well, most of what I saw was aquamarine dolphins jumping in the sea of champagne, although some candy floss patches did float from time to time, which the falcori ate voraciously. Other than that, the other highlight was the flock of kite gulls. Oh wow, were there many? Asked JD. Well, there were at least 4 dozen, all tied to one peppermint post. It was very sweet to see. I'm sure it was. I might swing by to free and see them run. JD, you should know better than to tangle with too many dreams at once. My dear madam, when have I ever been logical or sensible? They both laughed as Pincher brought some sugar saltines for them to eat with some latte pate. These are wonderful, said Claudette, handing JD one saltine with a perfect amount of pate. With one bite, JD acknowledged the accurate truth she'd stated, before brushing his hands and getting the bottle and map. Ah, but the real wonder are these 2 beauties. Okay, now you spill it. Cradling the green bottle, the young man handed it to her, which looked like it was made of green crystal and laced with tiny vines and an ornate lettering which read Nova, a product of Odstein Distributors, bottled in Raelis. Alcohol per volume, don't ask, and just pace yourself. Oh wow, this is from the OH? That is correct, replied JD, quite proud of his gift. Still, first pressing, and some people have really loved it. That's for you to take home and sip on once in a while. She was beaming. Thank you so much, dear. And the other gift? Ah, how little the elation of one gift lasts when there is another to be given. Here you go. She took the scroll a bit shyly, although she knew he meant it in jest. When she opened it, the scroll was a large 16 by 16 parchment, largely blank except for 4 details. First was a border that showed odd etchings as if on a grid line. Second was a compass in the shape of a heart. Third was a little sliver of what looked like a coastline with the words Sherbet Shore identified it. And fourth was a small engraving on the bottom. Let us explore and discover common ground. Claudette looked at JD, and his Cheshire smile flashed once more before he disappeared, replaced by the roof of her room. She sat up and puffed with indignation. Dreams really should be more considerate before ending. That is my first daydream of this collection. If you're interested in reading more, by all means, I will include the link below. If you have any questions, ask. If you're not clear on something, ask. And if you enjoy, let me know. So till next time, peace, love, and maki rolls.